it actually forces us to use the technologies that we have so we can communicate with our people, because there's no other way to doing it. It makes it actually a lot easier as well with all the things that we have at our fingertips.
Welcome to today's episode of the Waking Up to Win podcast series. I'm your host, Mark Pessin, Chief Learning Officer at Realty One Group. We're proud to keep bringing you industry leaders and our own experts, and to provide you messages which are relevant, timely, and shared in a way to empower you, the real estate professional, to experience today's challenges as true opportunity. As we continue to navigate our way through uncharted waters, it's only appropriate that our guest today is our own captain of Coolture, Wally. Wally, we're extremely excited to have you as a part of our team, and as you share your story with us, please include your service to our country. We are indeed proud to have you as our captain, which you can definitely discuss, but we also appreciate your service then and now to our citizens.
Well, thank you, Mark. As you know, I appreciate you all together doing all these podcasts. You and Kathy did an awesome job with the town halls, but thank you very much. Let me just do this. Let me start by saying this all started in a small town of about 150 people in North Dakota. Yes, I was born in a town of about 150 people in North Dakota. I'm the youngest of 7 kids, and I graduated with 7 classmates. By the way, I didn't graduate with my siblings. It wasn't like that. I grew up in North Dakota. I played basketball. I ran track. I loved anything in the outdoors. I loved camping and hunting and fishing. Literally just spent most of my time outside. I started at the age of 13, and I worked on my sister's farm where we raised cattle, and I just loved preparing and planting those fields and watching them grow. The harvest season was amazing. Long hours, long days. It was amazing. That's probably why I don't sleep a lot today. I graduated high school. I was 17 years old. And I just went right straight into the United States Air Force. I spent 10 years active duty, and I was actually building bombs, of all things. I got deployed to Saudi Arabia in support of Desert Storm, and they were actually offering early retirements after that. And I also had a minor injury that I needed to probably step away from the Air Force as well, too. I got right into the real estate business, and that was like 28 years ago. This have been proudly, I've been running all the largest offices in the state of Nevada. I give a lot of credit to my mom and dad, and my military upbringing, and of course, working so hard as a young man on a farm, back in North Dakota. So we've grown these bigger offices out here. I've actually, recognized these offices like. Living in a small town with a large family. That's kind of how I grew up, right? So one of my offices was 565 people. It was larger than my hometown of where I grew up. Large family, youngest of 7, in a small town, a family of 565 in a real estate office. So I've always consistently done that, thought about that, and I think, honestly, I've always kept in perspective, this is a relationship business because I'm a relationship guy. And so that was my upbringing. Now, snapshot forward. I've got 2 boys. One's 27, one's 25. 8-9 years ago, my oldest son wanted to get into the Air Force as well, follow his dad's footsteps. I wasn't sure about that, but the recruiter also said at that time, Mr. Coes, you're still young enough, you can get back in. So lo and behold, I got back into the Air Force Reserve. I got back into the United States Air Force Reserve. My oldest son, Spencer, is in the United States Air Force Guard. My youngest son, he's 25 now, but he spent 4 years in the Air Force active duty as a security forces. So for 4 years in that time frame, all 3 of us were in uniform. At this time, I'm still currently serving in the United States Air Force with my oldest son. Very, very, very proud days, Mark.
That's incredible, Wally. I love the story and the history, and I know I've said it before, but thank you to you and your family for your service to our country. It means a great deal to all of us. So thank you. On a separate note, I wanted to see if we could talk a little bit about the element of isolation that our current situation offers us, and how you, as the captain of Coolture, might recommend that our leaders stay in touch with their people, and what that could look like with today's technology.
Yeah, you're right. This virus thing has got us all discussing this and being creative in working from home and working through technologies and those type of things. And we've spoken about this on many different levels. And it actually forces us to use the technologies that we have so we can communicate with our people, because there's no other way to doing it. It makes it actually a lot easier as well with all the things that we have at our fingertips, like live Facebook. There's Videolicious tools. YouTube has been around for years. Now people are using it more. FaceTime, that's an Apple product. Skype is a non-Apple product. Zoom meetings. I mean, those things are getting so popular right now. They're doing anywhere from formal meetings to social meetings to happy hours, if you will. And then my new favorite is the live Instagram. There's a lot of people using Instagram, probably a little bit more so than the Facebook tool. And so live Instagram has been a very new tool for us and getting a lot of attention. If you're running your business like a business, then you already know that staying connected to your circles of influence is necessary. All these platforms are the answer. And truthfully, it's actually the right thing to do, especially right now in what we're faced with right now. And we are in the relationship business, right, Mark?
Absolutely. That's the name of the game. So let me ask you a question then, because I mean, and I think you've touched on this a little bit, but can you say or tell us specifically how an agent right now could apply one of these tools that you're talking about, whether it's FaceTime or it's Instagram, as an example? How could they apply that to their business today?
Yeah, Mark, let me just focus on my new favorite tool, because I think a lot of them have elements that you can use, and you can use whatever platform. But I like the live video stream a lot, and I'm going to pick on live Instagram at this point because there is so many more people on that. So I guess my comment is we're trying to hit and connect with more people at one time, and it feels like at this part of our life with social media, live Instagram could be that tool. Not that I'm taking away from live Facebook at all, but live Instagram seems to be that tool. So it is such a viral tool today that if we are going to be in the relationship business, which we all agree we are, we want to stay connected. It is so, so crucial right now. We keep saying it. It's all the buzzword now, stay connected, stay connected. But it makes a difference. Whenever I connect on social media with you or others in my business life, it makes me feel good. As human beings, we're in the relationship business as human beings. In the real estate business, we're in the relationship, or in the real estate business, we're also in the relationship business. So staying connected at a high level and a very easy tool to use is live Instagram, Mark.
So I guess what you're telling me is that I'm not going to see you doing any TikTok dance videos.
TikTok is not going to be in my arsenal of social media, I promise. Now, I might view a few of those by mistake every once in a while, but it's not going to be something I'm going to be using.
Okay, well, I think we all collectively dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
I did want to say though that I think that what it comes down to with a lot of these live videos is you've got to get comfortable a little bit with being uncomfortable, and that's just temporary. I know that nobody necessarily likes how they look and sound on video, but I know that you've been doing it a long time, and I'm sure that you could offer some advice on how people can get comfortable doing that. And it probably is just a temporary experience. But beyond that, when they're creating these messages, what do you think the length of these messages should be? And then also, can you speak to what the tone of the messages should be?
So let me speak to that on two different levels, because if you're going to be doing live Instagram discussions, those possibly can be a little bit longer because you're having more of a conversation, if you will, maybe a more of a lengthier message that you want to share with your sphere of influence if you're a real estate professional out there. Now, on that note, I would just say to prepare, regardless of the messages you're going to be sharing, whether they're short messages or long messages, you need to prepare your message a little bit. And I don't believe this to be more of a temporary thing. I think this is going to be more the normal as we move forward in our career. I mean, video has been around forever. It's just now we're forced, well, not, I guess, forced in a good way to use it to communicate better. Now, if you're going to be doing any type of promo pieces or anything like that, live Instagram or live Facebook may or may not be your answer. And you want to do content, you want to share content on messaging from market updates or content on your marketing of your listings or your buyers, those type of things. Those messages, I would say, to probably keep less than 90 seconds. That seems to be what I'm hearing from all the pros that I work with, and then all the data that they get from the social media sites. 90 seconds seems to be a maximum amount of time if you're going to do some kind of promo video or market updates or those type of things. A lot of people aren't going to spend a lot of time on videos if it's going to drone on and on and on, kind of like I'm doing right now.
So, to summarize what you're saying, regardless of the social platform you're using, you want to keep your posts brief and not long winded, but don't skimp on content. That content is absolutely king. And above all else, whether you're doing live or recorded, video is absolutely essential to your success.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So, really coming from contribution. Wally, I love this. And I just want to thank you for your insight and especially for being a living example of the advice that you share. It's truly a pleasure to serve with you, and we all appreciate the job that you do. And a special thank you to our listeners today. We'll move forward in community and sharing best practices to navigate these waters. If you'd like to know more about how to create, convey, and combine words and acts that matter and set you apart in a time of isolation and social distancing, please visit one.u and search for Impossible to Ignore, Creating Memorable Content to Influence Decisions by Carmen Simone and Barbara Hawking Scott, and Own the Room, Business Presentations that Persuade, Engage, and Get Results by Peter Desberg and David Booth. And remember, friends, by working together, we will achieve greater success faster.